Welcome back to Becoming Better Together. I'm your host, Brie. Let's get started. Let me ask you a question. How much fun are you having right now in your current life? Are you playing games? Are you enjoying every moment? Are you actually pushing yourself into experiencing new parts of life? Or are you taking everything so seriously? Who taught us to be so serious all the time? Because most of us are not having that much fun in each and every day. The more and more I learn about energy and moods and emotions and our consciousness levels, I'm realizing that we really do sit on a spectrum for how we vibrate, okay? So the amount of energy that we have in each of us, we all have a ton of energy inside of ourselves. But it's often we're vibrating at low levels because we're not putting that energy to good use. We're not in good states. We're not feeling good emotions. We are taking life way too seriously all the time. And who taught us this? So I want you to think back, because this is a question that I just started rereading and actually completing for the first time, if I'm being totally honest, Tony Robbins' first book, Money, Master the Game. I got it on Audible. And I'm realizing too that having audiobooks and having audio lessons like this in a podcast, so thank you for being here if you're an audio listener. I didn't used to be, but it has blown my world open. And I love to read, I really do, but I never made time for it. And so I've intentionally brought a lot more audio learning into my life. So anyways, I started listening to, literally today, Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. I think it's his first book he ever wrote. Somebody can correct me on that, but it's amazing. And so in the first section, he talks about how he got so much flack when it came to naming this book. So much flack because he used the word game in it. And the publishers or whoever was in charge of helping him figure this out, right? They, I guess, gave him some backlash about using the word game on such a serious topic, which is money. When we talk about money, we don't usually have all the most joy and the fun, and we're vibrating at really high levels. Usually that is the one word that as soon as you say money, how are you doing financially? The emotions fall and we get into this negative place of lack and scarcity and I want more and I don't have it, or we have a ton and we're guilty about it. So money is one of those words that just means so much more behind the scenes and carries so much emotional weight to it. There's a lot of energy behind it. So by him titling the book Money Master the Game, that got a little bit of flack. And I love this because it got me thinking today, where in my life am I taking things just way too seriously when in reality, we can make a game out of everything? And so let me ask you this. Are you a person that likes games? Most of us do. We like to have fun. Maybe you played sports growing up. Everything was a game as a kid. You had so much joy every time you would find something new. You would go play a board game. You learn the rules, and maybe the first time we weren't very good at it. That's okay. You played again, and it was your mission in that hour or 2 hours or however long you were taking to play that game to master it, right? I was that kid, and I still to this day, I love games. I love games, board games, card games. If anybody knows what the card game euchre is, that is the game that we play at literally every single family function, probably until the day I die, because it's just a game that was instilled in me and my family as very young. And my family, we grew up playing games. But then life happens, right? And then we're taught there's a time for games and there's a time for fun, but then there's a time for serious work. And I bet you grew up in a similar mentality where we are taught a very linear path. You go to school and you get good grades. And if you get good grades, you can get into a better school. You can go to college. And after college, if you do well in college, you can get a good job. And if you do good at your job, you do well, you can make decent money. And if you make decent money, you can have a good life, right? Is that working for most of us now? Because it didn't work for me. I went to school, I got good grades. I went to college, I went to a good college. Got good grades there, got out of college, was completely clueless what I wanted to do, by the way. But went into sales, had a good job, then got another better job because I performed well in that one. I've been on that path of looking for more, looking for better, being a high performer, being quote unquote successful from the outside. But I was very serious about all of this. And when we start taking things really seriously, we take all the joy out of it, all the fun. The little kid that was playing games and learning skills and trying to get better at things just for fun was gone. And suddenly, you can't lose the game of life because there's so much pressure put on all of us, right? Get the good job, go to the good school. If not, and you're in 7th grade and you're put into a lower math class, suddenly you've failed as a person, as a student, as somebody that has certain expectations from society, we'll say, about your trajectory of how successful you can be. You're not good at math, you won't get a good job. I heard this before, and I was one of those kids that had to test into higher math classes to prove myself, because in the beginning I had switched schools and I tested a little lower in math and I had to prove, no, I am good at this, and I took it very seriously. I became a math lead. I was that student, but I wasn't finding joy in any of it. And I bet if you're listening today, some of this is going to ring true to you. You went to the school, you got the job, and still there's something that you're not having fun every day. That joy of a little kid, that childhood excitement, it's gone. And I hope it hasn't been gone for too long, but it may have been years and years and years since you've truly had fun in work, in life, outside of those designated times that we're playing a board game. This was me for so long. So this got me thinking today so much about, in 3 places in my life, where do I just genuinely need to start treating it more like a game, like a sport, so that I can show up and not be afraid to fail, to try a new rule out, to maybe bend the rules a little bit, just to have more fun in each and every day and stop taking life so seriously. I bet this hits home for some of you that were me. And I hope that you can take the next couple tips as a lesson and try to bring more joy and more fun and excitement back into your life and stop beating yourself up if everything isn't perfect. Recovering perfectionist, right here. I'm still in recovery, but I'm getting there, and it all starts with becoming more and more aware of these places, just like this, where we need to have more fun and just stop trying to make everything right according to whoever gave you this story, whether it's society, maybe it was your parents, maybe it was some teachers, maybe it was a mentor that told you needed to take everything so seriously and track everything. And I'm calling myself out here because I love numbers, and I will talk about being able to gamify how we prospect, to have some fun with it, to give yourself a win and cheer for yourself and give yourself rewards when you win the game, quote unquote, in prospecting. You complete the activities and you do what you're supposed to do. That's really helped me in sales. I don't know how that has not transpired into so many other parts of my life that I am not treating like a game. And so this is what I want you to think of as well. In 3 places, where can you bring more fun into your life and start treating it more like a game or a sport, depending on who you are and how you grew up? Oftentimes, our life as a whole, right? Again, we're told to do all the things in this linear path, have the good life, have the good family, have the good job, have the good kids, send them off, and then we die. Great. Or we can have fun along the process, and you don't have to follow anybody's path but yours and what truly sparks joy, good energy, happiness, fulfillment in you. That's the point here. So there are 3 areas in your life that I want you today to figure out how you can treat them more like a game, more like a sport, where if you mess up a little bit, that's okay. You just show up for practice again tomorrow and you have more fun. It's not one and done. You failed. You failed at life. You messed up 5 years ago. Now this is your path forever. That is not it. And the more I can help empower you out of that, the future is still yours. The present today is still yours to do whatever you want with it. Let's have some fun along the way and stop being so damn serious. Okay, first place, your job. How can you make your job more like a game so that it inspires you to show up, learn the rules more, do the extra research? I started playing Scrabble recently because in a lesson when I was talking about identity, I said out loud to the people I was teaching, I am not a good speller. And I was talking about the power of the I am statement. Guess what? I have told myself for years I'm not a good speller because in the past, that was one of my weakest subjects. It really is. And still to this day, I'll be honest, I'm better at a lot more things than spelling, and that's okay. I'm trying to work on it, right? And so I started playing Scrabble for the first time in probably 15 years, very recently, and I'll be honest, I'm not very good at it. And so I wasn't very good. And so I was even like looking up Scrabble words to try to remind myself how to spell certain things. And I started doing extra practice or conditioning so that I could show up better for this game. And it's a silly game that I played for an hour with my boyfriend, but it was fun. And so I enjoyed learning that and looking up new words and really testing each other and challenging each other. So in your job, how can you treat it more like a board game or like Scrabble? Where are you willing to actually look up more information to bring more value to your workplace, but enjoy the process and see your growth? I'm learning new words. I like it. I'm starting to win Scrabble games because we probably played 25 before I even won one. I am making progress, and that progress equals happiness. That is fun. All right, so in your job, find ways. Where can I gamify it? Where can I have it more fun? Where can I actually look through the rule books and just increase my skills, my confidence, all of it, and enjoy the ride? Job, number one. Number two, finances. Ooh, this is the big one. And this whole book, I hope you guys read this at some point in your life. Otherwise, I'll give you some lessons throughout me reading it. Finances, where can you treat that more like a game as well? And again, money is a serious topic. So being trivial about it and saying, how can I make it a game? It really is. Money is just like energy. Most money doesn't even exist. It's not backed by gold like it used to be. It's literally digits and numbers in a computer that get traded through systems and in the internet, and it doesn't exist. It's not real. It's energy that moves back and forth now. How can I treat this more like a game as well? And this is the big one where we are so serious about either we're making progress or we're not. And then the negative emotions come in and we're low and we're guilty and we're shameful. How can I actually find ways in my finances to treat it more like a game, to make progress, to find joy in what I currently have? Even if I feel like I'm losing some days, how can I enjoy the process of getting better? And again, we can start a new game every single day. So if you're in a financial position now you don't like, that is not your death sentence. You don't have to be there forever. We can find ways to get better at the game. We can increase our value as humans. We can serve more people. We can have new jobs. We can learn new skills. How can I treat my finances more like a game so that I can start winning in that area, or at least competing? And so think of this one like a sport. We have to go to practice, but in general, we have to actually step onto the field, or we're going to sit on the sidelines and we're never going to play. And so many people I see bury their heads in the sand. I have been here in the past with our finances, and we sit on the sidelines forever instead of uncovering what's actually going on and then making positive efforts forward to try to change the situation. So many times I see people that just said, listen, this is who I am. I'm always going to be broke. If this is you, hear this. If you keep saying, I'm always going to be broke, I'm always going to be lazy, I'm not very good at things, I don't have any skills, you'll never find those skills, you'll never find that extra money, you'll never change that situation. But if you can rewrite that story and start to have fun with it, right? Oh, maybe I can be good at this. Let me try this craft. Let me try this skill. Let me try to sell things. Maybe I can learn how to have a side hustle. Suddenly we can gamify it and you can bring in new, you can bring in more. The I am broke doesn't have to be your story forever. That's the second area I want you to think more like a game, your finances. The third one, most important. What about in your own self-mastery? This is your mindset. This is your physical body. This is your spirit, whatever it is. In your self-mastery, whatever that means to you, how do I treat this more like a game too, where I go to practice and I want to get better and I want to show up on the field and I want to have teammates around me to cheer for. I want to play and I want to compete and I want to grow and be the best. If you can adopt that mentality, and this is me speaking to me again, I'm going to try to bring more of this into my life. And so hopefully you guys will join me as I really play with this concept and journal through it and try to get more and more of my focus and my shift in my mindset to gamify my self-mastery. Because there are days that I'm still very hard on myself. And this is coming from that very linear child who was successful in certain areas and then hit a breaking point, found out what mental health is and depression and the whole shebang. And it's not something that we should take lightly. And we need to have joy and fun, or why are we even living in this life? And so for your self-mastery, stop being so hard on yourself if you're not making progress as fast as you want. Lesson 1. Lesson 2, it's good to just admit where you are at right now, but also say, but it's not over yet. And so this very minute can be the change in you, that you decide, okay, you're right. I'm going to start self-mastery like a game too, and find ways to enjoy loving myself more, treating my mind, my body, my spirit with more respect, being more gentle with myself, having those high vibrating emotions, that energy state about myself more in my life, love myself more, find joy, have gratitude for where I'm at, have gratitude for my past even and what has gotten me here today. This can all be so much more fun. Again, life doesn't have to be taken so seriously. It isn't that we go out, we play one game and it's over and we failed, we quit, the end, and that's all you got. This isn't it. Every single day in this life is a new game for you. So my question is, how do you want to play it? So please, if this helped you at all today, do me a favor and share this on your social media. Help somebody else that maybe is taking things like me in the past so seriously. I need to remember that we really do. Every new day is a new game for you to play, to find some joy, to bend the rules if you need to a little bit, or at least dive deeper and learn them, to give yourself some advantages, but give yourself more fun. That's my ask for you guys today. That's what I got for you. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to our next discussion. See ya.